Southern California, AM 1220, KHTS. This is your host, Fred Arnold, in the Santa Clarita Valley Chamber of Commerce Business Spotlight. And I'm with Magalenda Wright,
Yes.
and she is with Dilbeck Real Estate, a real estate professional in the Santa Clarita Valley.
That is correct.
I'm excited to talk to you about this because I think real estate is looking up. So how is the real estate market? Give us more information.
Okay, Fred, it definitely is looking up. What we are seeing is that we have a very tight inventory, and it is a seller's market. We are seeing, as of this morning, only 319 active listings. It's down about 50% from this same time last year. And what we're seeing is there's a lot less bank-owned properties on the market contributing to this reduction in inventory. The banks are allowing homeowners to short sell their homes. They're being more agreeable with them, so it is really tightening up our inventory.
So let me break this down and ask you a little bit
Sure.
more detail, just from what you're seeing.
Yes.
So let's say there's 319 homes. Are you finding a third? What I mean by that is maybe a third short sales where they're going through pretty smoothly, a third real estate owned by banks, and a third normal sellers, or is the combination a little bit different?
It's a little bit different. We're seeing more standard sales, a lot less bank-owned. I believe there's about, if my memory serves me correct, about 90 properties this morning that are bank-owned, and there's about, there's about 200 that are standard, and the rest are short sales.
Wow. So
Right.
So we're not seeing as many of the short sales as we had in the past?
Exactly. Well, no, I'm sorry. We're seeing more short sales, but less at bank-owned.
Less bank-owned,
Exactly.
which I think is good, because one thing that the federal government can do is encourage those to get out of the house, sell their house in a great fashion, because you're finding when there's a foreclosure, the house is usually not as good a shape as when there's a short sale or standard sale.
That is correct. What the banks are seeing is that by allowing homeowners to short sell their homes, that the properties are less distressed, the neighborhoods are less distressed, the homeowners are able to maintain the home while they're living there versus a home that's been abandoned. It's starting to lose its appeal. It's been sitting there. They're less maintained, well maintained. So yeah, it's beneficial for everybody to have their home short sailed.
So someone's looking for a real estate professional, buy or sell. What questions should they be asking? What should they be looking for?
Okay, well, if you're for sellers and buyers, both, it's so important to use a local realtor, because out here in Santa Clarita Valley, we have a very, we're different opposed to the valley. We have tracts, we have Malaroos, we have HOAs, and if you're not a local agent, you may not be aware of the different Malaroos that are common to that certain track. So it's very important to get a local agent. It's very important to get somebody who maybe is referred to you. Very important to see if they have a website that is current, that they're very, very on top of technology, because that's how people are searching out homes. And you have to be aggressive and you have to be fast in this market, because we're seeing homes on and off the market within days. So make sure your agent is very aggressive and very responsive and communicates.
Yeah, a couple things that you just mentioned. Aggressive, communicates, responsive.
Right.
The reason why those three are important is because aggressive, when you meet with them for the first time, do they understand your track, or did they do the research ahead of time?
It's both. They'll do some research. A lot of people will go to Trulia, to Zillow, and they don't realize that those websites can be very outdated. Up to 3 weeks. If they'll see a home active, I want to go see this home. It's already been closed for 3 weeks. So it's so important to use an agent, buyers, and make sure that your agent is communicative, they're responsive, that they're checking that MLS twice a day. They're letting you know, hey, there's a home, let's go see it. Because if you don't, you're going to lose out.
And so aggressive.
Aggressive.
That's why, right?
Yes.
And I'm not talking aggressive towards the buyer or seller. I'm talking aggressive when they go find.
Yes, very proactive. Call your clients, tell them, hey, this property just popped up like within the last 30 minutes. Do you want to go see it? Do you have time later this afternoon? I don't mean being pushy and towards your buyers, trying to sell them something they don't want. I'm talking being very proactive on both sides.
Well, let me just tell you right now, if you're a buyer in this market and a real estate agent says, look, we need to look at this property today, they're not trying to make a quick sale. They're trying to get you to see it because there'll be 2 or 3 offers by tomorrow.
Oh, that's absolutely correct. I just showed some brand new clients on Tuesday a short sale that just popped up on the market on Tuesday. Yesterday morning, it was already in backup offer status. I called him and I said, that property we saw yesterday that you were thinking about is already offer
so it's important you do your education up front as a buyer.
Exactly.
John Wooden said it. He's a basketball player and a coach, and he said, be quick, but don't be in a hurry.
Exactly.
Which means if you do your homework early, then you can be quick.
Exactly. And it's very important for the agent to educate their new client, their new buyer, of the situation of the market. Let them know that, hey, you have to be ready. You have to have that pre-approval letter. If you see something, you need to act quick. Because if you don't set those expectations, they're going to be very disappointed. A lot of buyers are still thinking that it's a buyer's market, that they can sit around, they can shop, and you really can't.
No,
With
you can't.
inventory this low, you cannot do that.
Have your loan ready.
Have your loan ready.
Be ready to go with that, and have a real estate agent that is well connected in the
Yes.
community. And the reason why well connected, and you'll agree with me on this,
Yes.
is a lot of times agents find out listings from other agents
Exactly.
before they go on the market.
That is correct. For example, in our office, we're all members of different networking groups. We all network with each other in the office. We say to each other, hey, I have this buyer need. Does anybody have anything coming up? If you're an out-of-area agent, you don't have that benefit to network with your own office and with local agents.
Now,
So it's
we
very
have
important.
about a minute left.
Okay.
So I want to ask you,
Sure.
what would be one or two secrets? You're thinking of selling your house now,
Okay.
and you want to get the highest price.
Okay.
Couple things you could throw out there for a seller.
Okay, make sure if you're you want to sell and you're serious about selling your home, make sure that you price it well, you price it correctly, because if a home sits and it looks like a beautiful, nice home, if it's not selling, it's because it's priced too high. And very few people are going to pay over market value for your home. So make sure it's priced well. Make sure that it shows nicely. And I'm not saying you have to update, but make sure it's neat, it's well maintained. You take care of all the little details. It's all about how it shows, and it's all about price.
Do you stage much, or do you normally just ask people to declutter?
You know, both declutter and stage with what they have.
Now, let me just preference decluttering real quickly, because that can be very insulting to an individual.
It can be very
because
insulting.
it's their collection of baseballs or their
Exactly.
collection of whatever.
Right.
And it's really important to them, but really someone's going to come in and imagine them owning the house.
Exactly.
And so I want to emphasize that. If you hear that from Magdalena when you interview her, that is a serious thing, and don't take it as an insult, because I'm told the same thing.
Exactly. Don't be insulted. Not everybody has the right vision, the
Right.
correct vision, and we all see things differently. So let's just make the home as neutral as possible.
Nobody sees it as good as you do, right? Well, Magdalena, how can those that want to reach you, how can they reach out and connect with you?
Well, they can email me at my name, magdalena.wright@dilbeck.com, or they can call me at my office direct line, which is area code 661-219-0134, or just go to Dilbeck and look up the Valencia office, and you'll find me that way as well.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Everybody, Magalenda Wright from Dilbeck Realtors on AM 1220 KHTS.